All right, this is daily chart of TWTR. In this video, I'm going to talk about the new entry point, what's necessary for this to really, if this is really going to move higher, because for an option trader, power option trader, you don't have the time to wait around for the stock, to be in this, chop zone as it's been. It's developing a pattern now. If it needs more time, great, but you don't want to be entering it. You just don't have that time. In order to get the leverage, let's say someone even wants to just be able to invest $500, but control 500 shares of Twitter, and that thing pops. They can be making, they can make 1,000 on that 500. Right? If you know what you're doing and you buy the right kind of stock, the right kind of breakout point. And why don't you need a lot of time? Like, why is 3 weeks? I would say 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It depends on the magnitude of the breakout, the consolidational pattern. But 3 weeks, you don't need much more than that, from your entry point. Is if you look at it, let's say you took this breakout in Twitter on this day here, and you were anticipating $45, and you did happen to hold this. I don't know whether we would have held that, but what I'm getting at is that if we look at the magnitude of this move, when we're trying to look for power, and if you think about it, from your entry day, you only held this for about 4 days, where you would a person who would have bought 5 Twitter options with a small amount of time, those options would have 200-300%, believe it or not, in that short period of time, right? Now, this is not the best of this scenario, but this one, let's say you had taken this breakout over here at 45.98. Let's say you would have entered just a little bit below that. The next day, and actually this was a trade that I was in a long time ago, and I talked about, I remember, the Twitter versus Facebook. But basically, the stock, what it did was it did a nice strong directional move with a little bit of pause. So you have the breakout here, a little bit of a pullback, just a little bit, as you can see, and then another pop again, a pullback. But there was, that was a bit tough, but I think it was easy. It was holdable. Followed by a rally forward, another little pullback, and then finally, so basically in here you'd be taking some of your options have gone 100%, and then you ride the rest. And so it was possible for someone to make that 500 turn to an additional $700, we'll say, easy. Even by not by holding them all. If you held them all, you would have made more. But you always should be taking profits along the way, because you don't know when a crazy day like this happens. But definitely, if you're making a lot of profits, you've been stopped out somewhere, you would have made easily 120%, or made your 500 turn to 700. We'll just say. And if we look at the days, it didn't take very long, and those options would keep moving up, because the stock is chopping higher fast. So your entry, this is probably was good. It was even more than what I'm saying, but this is just an example. But it doesn't take long if you count that, right? You have plenty of time. What you don't have, it doesn't matter how long, how long you have, you don't have time for these long chop periods here like this. You don't have time for all this. This kills you, right? And you have, no one's, you can't make money in this. And so for the whole, basically December, January, and February, this wasn't really good. Then we had this small, powerful move, consolidation period again, followed by another powerful move here. This day was really good, but the problem is it was very short-lived because of this drop, right? Anyways, Facebook needs still a lot of power and pressure. It has to look good, really good, as it trades above 51.50. Anything earlier than that, still a guess, because 51.50, it was a resistance. It barely could hold above that on this day here, and since then they pulled it back. So the question is, does this have the power to really move? And the only way, or does it need more time? And so this is why I would look to a lot of volume as this trades in the 5150, like a lot of strength in the 5150 to 52 area. If it doesn't look that great at 5150, I would look at 52, because if it doesn't show that power in that area, you can be holding you can be holding a deadbeat stock. I like to hold these for a few days for powerful moves. But if it's not ready, if this stock's supposed to move, if it can't move, it can be chopping. It won't be a good option trade. And so this is why, I looking at the way they slowed this down. If we don't have power, come Monday, they don't have power to take it to 5150, and in that 5150, 52 area, then this could be stuck or even pulled back, which is fine. But then it builds a better pattern, and perhaps gives us a better entry point. But it's important that if you're trying to make money with options, a lot of money. We're trying to catch directional moves. Like this was a good one as well. This move over here, right, was okay. It was pretty good. 47. I mean, if we'd have caught, someone would have caught this breakout point. That was another one as well. But then the next one was over here. But so it depends which one you bought. But it was profitable here. I mean, you would have bought options because you're buying the right breakup points, and you're making money fast. You don't need a lot of time. Right, and by you holding your option through all this, you're just losing money anyways. So you want to hold for the power. You want to be involved in the stock that has the pressure and the power. As you can see, this had a lot of pressure and power up to 50, 52, 53 area before the big drop, quick drop. Right, you got to make your targets too. Like if if your goal is to make 100%, or if I make recommendations where there's a good chance the options make 100% or more very quickly, and you have to just take profits because these drops can happen. As you can see, it drops quickly, they pop. This is really hard to trade this. When this kind of drop happens, it's very hard to get into this, and even if when things start to look good, they drop this severely, really hard. I never bothered with this at all. Once this directional move was over, I left the stock alone, and it just found its way lower. For a long time, I left this alone, unless someone wanted to short this. I left this alone for the long side. But it did. It was a really good move. I was able to produce 150% gains in the options, just alone in this area here. And you don't need a lot of time. So there you have, and then in the other video, again, I talked about. You can see my other video on my stream. I talk about volume. But this video here is talking about the new breakout points. What I'm thinking about Twitter, the importance of the volume and power, because my warning here is if this stock doesn't show the power and the pressure soon, it's going to need more time, and even then it may not be a good trade. So it's got to start to move right now. But that's what my charts are telling me. This has got to start moving. It's got to start to move with power and pressure soon, and you want to see that kind of power and pressure come in, because then it will have a nice move and it will consolidate again. And that's how this stock is going to go. Maybe they're going to try to take it up. The question is do they have the power? With this pattern here, do they have the power to really take this through this 56 area, right? Or are they just going to take it to 54 to 50? Well, see, the high here is up. Could they take it up to 56 before stalling it again? I don't know. What I do know is we need to see some action and power. So if they want to consolidate this a little longer, it's just fine with me. But we'll still need that power move for entry. And I would have to reassess. I reassess things all the time. Whether the stock, like the entry hasn't changed in my opinion. If anything, it's even higher than some other days I had because of what I've been seeing. and what the charts are telling me. Sometimes it can be lower, and sometimes so I always reassess, and I send my chart witness followers updates to stock charts on their prices. Again, if the stock doesn't confirm, we don't bother getting into the trade. I mean, we let the patterns and the volume and the power of price uh, guide us. Because no matter how bullish something looks, things can go bad, right? I mean, look, uh, Twitter looked really bullish over here, and then the picture changed, right? This from this downturn, things can change very quickly. It was a power. This in August to September, theoretically, right? And August to September was a very powerful month. August to September was a powerful month for Twitter, and then boom, you have this warning sign of something going wrong, and this never really not being worthwhile to go long anymore. And then, as you can see, why, boom, right? It fell quickly. And again, let's say someone decided to say this is if you were shorting, right? And you were going short inside of this candle over here. Well, if you think about it, how long did you need to hold the option for a real move lower? Let's say we would have shorted 54, and the low here was you can see that this is a huge, actually huge money to be made on the short side here. Up to these days, it's up to this point here anyways, right? Because from this point here, you'd exited. And as you look at the real moves, say you took a short over here, the next day popped down, how long did it really take for you to make that money? If a stock has a good reason to go lower or higher, the point is that when you're looking for power moves, unlike day trading where people are just trying to play little ticks in the thing, you're looking for what we're looking for are good setups, and then we're looking for the volume and power to come in so that we can hold an option for a few days. The best ones last a few days, to about a week, and then unless you have we have the Apple move. Look at this AAPL. Apple, when it had this directional move, it didn't take very long, right? If you had, and it depends on, again, the strategy of your thing, right? When this stock made this directional move over here, right? How long did it take to make money in the option, right? You're entering on this day 1, 2, 3, 3 days, and then a pause, a rollover, which is what I've done. I did a rollover in here, and I talked about. But if you think about this was what 3 days, a little bit of consolidation, final pop for the thing. But this huge move that it had. This was huge. I had caught this. I posted this on my stream. This huge move here, directional move play, it was pretty easy to trade this, especially with the options strategy. And again, you didn't need a lot of time on this. This lasted a total week, right? A week and a half. So, and if you were to hold even the longer time frame, if things changed, the picture for Apple changed as we had this, it changed for the stock. Now it's in the chop zone, right? So there you have it, people. You don't need a lot of time for options. Thanks for listening. Like the video.